Hello, our nightmarish creatures. Before we feed your appetite for horror, we need to thank our sponsor for helping support the channel for as long as it has, Noble Somatic Wellness. Noble Somatic Wellness is a 5-star massage therapy place that aims to put your aches and pains to rest at an affordable price. Ran by its lovely founder and amazing friend of ours, Erica Noble, Noble Somatic Wellness is now offering Nourishing Needs, a touch therapy class on how to gently give infants massages at $75 that covers the course. You get to learn touch therapy techniques from the pro herself for the special child in your life, promoting an abundance of health improvements. If you would like to book your appointment today, you can click on the link below. Even if you just want information on the business itself, why not explore the business today at noblesomaticwellness.com. That's noblesomaticwellness.com. Schedule either your appointment or class today. Dear Anna, I remember our nights of brutal passion. It was so tragically beautiful, the way you danced in the street, splashing acrylic puddles of orange glow in the rain. I begged you then to come inside, only to hear you say,
"Why should I miss such a gorgeous night?"
I admired your childlike sense of wonder. You seized your days with grace and hope. I never understood how someone could be so optimistic given your life and how it transpired. It didn't make sense, but it convinced me to live happily with you. You were my burning star of hope. You pulled me out of my misery. It was you that grabbed my arm, and we danced in the rain together. It was cold and wet, but your body was warm and your breath was hot on my neck when you said you loved me for the first time. I'll never forget the way you feel, your warmth. So, why? Why did you do it? I loved you. I loved you so deeply that when you left, I started to carve pieces of myself to release the bright red pain boiling inside me. What I did to you was a mistake, Anna. I promise it was. I no longer sleep. I haven't since you've been in the backyard. Sometimes I lay on the grave I made for you, just to stay close to the warmth you gave the earth. I cry at night, and I start to drink again. My vice you got me to quit, but since you're not here, I can't seem to stop myself anymore. I remember the night it happened, when I found that man's shirt tucked away under the bed. The wrapper too. I remember the terse language, then the cursing, then the shouting. How could you do that to me, Anna? How could you say you love me when you betrayed me? My angel given to me from the heavens above. How could you perform such a vile sin? You rushed me, pounding on my chest, and begged for forgiveness with every ounce of your being, but I could not forget, so I could not forgive. You hated that. You claimed that I did not love you. That love was unconditional, forever, pure. My dear Anna, I can still love you and despise what you've done. The thin line we walk of love and hate was unbalanced, so I grabbed that knife, and I proved that our love was in fact unconditional. It was forever and pure. You seemed to acknowledge my act of passion and saw it for what it was. When the knife dug into your chest, blood pooled on your shirt, and all you did was look up at me and smiled. I knew just as much as you did that we could never truly be apart. And in that moment I forgave your sin, our love baptized in your blood. So why haven't you left? I still hear you at night wandering the house. the familiar noise of your feet shuffling through the halls. At first I thought the pain of you being gone was making me mad, but then you began to sing. As clear as day you sang your bright and joyous song in the dark halls of our home. It startled me awake, and I ran through every room to find you. I ran outside to see if you managed to come out from beneath the peach tree. But you were still there, still nourishing our tree with whatever is left of your body. I ate your fruit every day, and imagined still tasting your sweet lips on mine. I started to catch glimpses of you in our mirrors and windows. Just getting to see you for a fraction of a second brought tears to my eyes. It was so fast, but unmistakably you. You were watching over me from the heavens above, and I knew that it was because of our love that you could be here with me even after death. God himself granted us to be together. Unconditional love. But Anna, seeing you has begun to bring me so much sadness. Last night, when laying in bed, I turned over and smelled your perfume, your beautiful rose and cardamom. I reached out and felt the curves of your body. It made me sob to sleep. I can't help but to think of our last night together. Slowly, every time you appear to me, I don't think of you dancing, but of you on your knees, looking up at me with a smile and a knife sticking out of your chest. I asked you to stop. I could no longer prove our love, and I could no longer say I love you. I have to move on, and if you loved me, you would let me go, but you didn't. Maybe I deserved this. I deserve to be haunted by you. It was my wish and everything that I asked for you to be forever mine. But I have to take it back. I deserve this. And maybe that's why you won't leave. You began to hurt me last week. It started with you moving our things across the house, throwing silverware out of drawers, breaking plates on the kitchen floor. Then, you started to bring knives to my room. You laid every knife we owned out on the carpet in beautiful spirals and patterns. My Anna, you are still so talented. But you started to cut me. You threw your art at me with precision, and it nearly cut my throat. When that didn't procure what you wanted, you started to scratch me at night. Your nails burned through my flesh, and I screamed out in pain, swinging my fist through the blanket in frustration that I could not reach you. My dear Anna, I cannot say that you love me anymore either. I could understand if you wanted me to be with you in the afterlife, and so you allowed me to drink a poison, or if you actually struck me with that blade. But no. Recently, I have come to understand that all you want is to make me suffer. Anna, please, please stop. I can't take this anymore. I haven't slept in days. You are up every night and ensure I am there to be up with you. But Anna, you must move on. If you truly did love me, then you would let me go. I can't handle the pain anymore. My body is filled with the scars and burnt kisses of your onslaught. I'm scared of you, Anna. I begged you today to talk to me. I paraded around our house and pleaded for you to come out. I begged for your forgiveness. If I could take it back, I would. I screamed into the void. If I could die instead of you, I would. But you never answered me. But tonight, as I'm writing my letter to you, you grabbed my shoulder and finally spoke to me. In your sweet and velvety tone.
You don't get to let go.
Oh, Anna, our love truly is beyond all reason. I'll continue to live for you, and I will bear the wounds you give me as proof of our love. Our eternity together.